I'm gonna provide an update here for what I am calling Grand Theft Auto Weekend. So I'm gonna go over two cases. I'm gonna show a little bit of some squad video clippage about some incidents that took place in our city. So on this past Saturday, February 18th, at around 11:30 at night, one of our officers was patrolling around Highway 169 and Old Shakopee Road when they noticed a vehicle that the plate came back indicating that the vehicle was reported stolen out of Minneapolis. When the officer tried to initiate a traffic stop, the person decided that they didn't want to stop. So the pursuit was on. They fled. They ended up driving through the city of Edina. Some of our partners at Edina PD were able to get out some stop sticks. So the vehicle hit the stop sticks. And then they were getting on off of Highway 100 trying to go to 60, or excuse me, they were getting off Highway 62 trying to go to 100 northbound. And that's when one of our officers were able to engage in a pit maneuver. This vehicle had been driving in excess of 100 miles an hour during this pursuit. So I'm going to show this video here of the pit maneuver that had taken place. So as here you can see our officer initiates a pit maneuver on the passenger side. A pit is when we pull up to one side and we try to push the vehicle around to spin it out. The officer ends up having to initiate another pit shortly after the first one. Why is that? What you're starting to see is a lot of these new vehicles, their traction control systems are meant to keep their vehicles on the road. So when you're watching these vehicles that are having to be pitted out multiple times, that's because a lot of these new traction control systems are set up to stop they're set up to keep the car on the road. And when we try to pit them, it's not as effective as it is with the older vehicles. So you're gonna see this nationally and locally where people are attempting pit maneuvers and they're having to do them multiple times. So after the pit maneuver was successful, we arrested Miss Umpo Goodwin, 43 years old enough to know better than be driving 100 miles an hour in somebody else's car that was stolen. I still don't understand how you just drive around in somebody else's car that's stolen like it's your own. I don't know, but we arrested her. She had warrants out of Becker County, I believe, no bail for a failure to appear. And she also had another narcotics warrant out of Hennepin County. She tried to flee in a stolen vehicle. And since football season is over, I'm gonna do a little honor here in terms of football. Now, I can't use a term of who I believe is the best wide receiver in Minnesota Vikings history because I don't want to pay straight cash homie, but Ms. Goodwin tried to run, she got caught. And you break the law here in Bloomington, you can be rest assured that you're gonna get an orange jumpsuit and we're gonna lock you up. So you break the law here, you try to run in a stolen vehicle, drive 100 miles an hour, we're gonna lock you up. You got caught. So I'm gonna keep the gloves on because these next set, they got caught too. And this is a pretty interesting story here. So around on Saturday, February 18th, around 3:10 in the morning, on the 16000 block of Yosemite, a red Prius was stolen from a driveway. It was stolen. Two gentlemen were driving in a gray Honda. One of the gentlemen got out, stole the Prius, and then they both drove away. Our officer was nearby. Our officer caught up to the vehicles. They were driving in tandem. And then when our officer tried to institute a traffic stop, they split up. Our officer followed the stolen vehicle, and they ended up catching up to it. And when they caught up to it, I'm going to show this video here. So the gentleman in the red Prius here tries to get out of the Prius and run to get into the Honda because they ended up meeting back up. Well, the guy in the Honda decided that he wasn't going to stick around and get caught. So he left. You heard me. He left his friend right there on the side of the road. So the guy tries to get back into the Prius. Problem. He stole it. He didn't have keys. So it didn't start. So he had to get out, try to run. You run, we catch you. We ended up catching him. So the person that stole the red Prius here is Mr. Gene Yang, 31 years old. And that's Gene with a G. He was in the red Prius, tried to get back into the gray Honda, and his friend left him. So I'm going to play that again for you so you can see that. So as you can see here, he's trying to get into the Honda, which is coming towards us. He couldn't get in, so he ran back to the Prius. Couldn't start it because he stole it. And then he got out and tried to run, and we caught him. So we caught Mr. Gene Yang here, but there is no honor among thieves. But at the same time, Mr. Tao Yang here, 29 years old, who was driving the Honda, we caught him a short way away too with the help of some of our partners at the Edina Police Department. So both Mr. Gene Yang and Mr. Tao Yang, y'all got caught. You stole a car in Bloomington and you got caught. In addition to this, in the Honda, we found catalytic converter stealing tools, sawzalls, jacks, blowtorches. So we believe these guys were out here trying to steal some catalytic converters. They just made the mistake to come to Bloomington and do that. Mr. Gene Yang has criminal convictions. I'm not even talking about charges, convictions going back to 2013 for vehicle theft, false info to police, and he actually gave the name of another real person, which enhances that charge. Leaving the scene of an accident, felony theft, receiving stolen property, criminal damage to property. He also has multiple pending cases, all in the same vein here. He also had one warrant with 2 charges out of Ramsey County for first degree damage to property, possession of burglary and theft tools. He had a second warrant out of Ramsey County for 3 charges, second degree assault, threats of violence, and 5th degree drug possession. And that warrant had a $30,000 bond. Mr. Tao Yang had charges convictions going back to 2014 for domestic felony 3rd degree drugs, possession of burglary tools, felony drugs, fleet police in a motor vehicle, felony stolen property, felony theft, burglary tools. He also has multiple charges pending. And he had a warrant for 5th degree drug possession and DWI with a bond of $3,000 out of Ramsey County. So, which is customary here, if you come to Bloomington and try to steal people's cars and prep to steal catalytic converters, I believe Mr. Gene Yang, we lock you up. You don't get to come to Bloomington and do that. Mr. Tao Yang, you leave your boy on the side of the road and think you're gonna get away, you get an orange jumpsuit too, man. You should have kept driving. You shouldn't even try to come to Bloomington and steal, but you did. So you do that here, we lock you up. And I just want to close here. I want to thank our officers here. So if you notice the times of the morning when these activities are taking place, and these are in neighborhoods. In Bloomington, our officers are in our neighborhoods all the time. We constantly patrol for things like this. So I really want to thank them for being out there and doing their jobs. We have a great police department here, and I can't commend them enough. But to the people who want to come out here and steal, I hope this is an example for you. Because just like them, you can get caught. You can get caught. And if you come to our town and try to steal, who knows? You might be up here just like them. So with that, have a good rest of your day. And even though the snow's out, spring should be here in, I don't know, 2 months or something like that. Have a good day.